Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Pages and Pals live show. And this is a special live show because it is happening during Readerama weekend. If you are unfamiliar with Readerama, it's like a semi-annually readathon. It varies between being a week long or a weekend long. This time around, we're doing a weekend long readathon. It started yesterday and it ends tomorrow. But we are doing this live show. We specifically chose this day because it fell during Readerama weekend. So if you are participating in the Readerama, let us know in the comments or in the chat. We would love to know that you're participating with us. This is a monthly live show, in case you're wondering if you've never participated in one of our live shows. We do this once a month. It's usually in the middle of the month, always on a Saturday, always on my channel. Usually at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes we do it a little bit later, but usually it's around 5 p.m. Eastern time. It's just reading sprints. Grab whatever book you're reading and join us. Join us for some reading, and I'll let these ladies introduce themselves. All of their channels and Twitter links and etc. is down below if you guys want to follow them. But I'll let them introduce themselves and let us know what they're reading. Chloe, since you're right next to me, you can go first.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chloe. I run the YouTube channel Brunette Bibliophile, and I'm also one of the co-hosts of Readerama. Tonight, I'm going to be continuing on with one of my reads, which is This Poison Heart by Callan Bayron. It is an urban fantasy, contemporary fantasy, following this girl in New York who has the power to grow plants, and she inherits this estate from a relative she didn't know, and she goes to upstate New York to find out what the mystery is behind the estate. I'm only about a third of the way in. I'm trying to read the second third of it today so I can stay on track. But so far, I am enjoying it. I really enjoyed her debut, which is Cinderella is Dead. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Hello, everyone. I'm Desirai from LibriLabra. I was being super indecisive today, so I grabbed 3 different things. I'm either going to read this, which is my epic spring breakup by Kristen Rockaway, or Like a Love Song by Gabriella Martins, or I think maybe this one, because this is about water witches, which is called Itza from Rios de la Luz. And this is something that I picked up during Latinx-a-thon. I don't remember what year, probably a couple years back. It's pretty short, and I did start it early today, so I'm probably just going to continue with this.
Hi, my name is Donna. I'm Galaxy Books on Instagram, and I am going to be reading Once Upon a Time. It's pretty short. This is one of the books that I picked for 2 of the prompts for Readerama. I actually don't know what this is. I got this from BookCon a few years ago, and I'm interested. I just know it's fantasy. That's all I know. I don't know what the story is. I don't remember anything. So we'll see where it brings me.
And I'm
Catherine.
Kathleen.
What are you reading?
And I'm Kathleen. You guys know me. You're on my channel. I am reading A Damsel or Damsel by Elena K. Arnold. This is the BookTube Chicks book pick of the month. It's a backlisted story. It published a few years ago. I've had this on my shelves for years. I have no idea what. But this is about a princess, and basically it's like an anti-fairy tale sort of. She gets rescued by a prince, but she has no idea why he rescued her. She's not necessarily a damsel in distress. She doesn't need to be rescued, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I've only read a first chapter. I haven't really got into the story, but it sounds interesting, and that's the reason why we picked it for this month. So I'm very excited to dive into the book. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Usually the way our live shows work, we have 2 reading sprints. We start off with a 25-minute reading sprint, and then we end with a 20-minute reading sprint. We take a little bit of a break. Everybody tells how they're feeling about their book, and then we start our 20-minute reading sprint. So we're going to go ahead and first start with our 25 minutes. I will have background music. If that is too loud or it bothers you, just let me know in the comments, and I'll turn it down. And I'll share my screen with the countdown. Okay. So that was 25 minutes. As usual, it goes by really, really fast. My book, I read about 20 pages. I don't know how I feel about the writing. She has these really, for Desiree and Chloe, and since you guys, I don't know if you started, she has these weird descriptions. I almost feel like they're unnecessary. This is not a spoiler. I'm tabbing, by the way, these weird descriptions. He's like trying to fight the dragon because he has to rescue the princess. And where he is, it's very hot and very humid. So he's like, he's trying to describe this as being inside a womb, like a child inside a womb. And he's like, he was womb bound, eyes unopened, breathing and swimming in the hot stew of his mother's juice. And I'm reading that, I was like, what is happening? Why did this author describe it this way? It was really weird. And there's a couple other weird descriptions, but that was the one that I can't get out of my head now. So just be aware there are these weird descriptions when you read the book. It's not bad, like the story's interesting so far, but I feel like the weird descriptions are kind of like, yeah. Anyway, Chloe, you're next. How's your book going?
I could have gone without the description. I read about 20 pages as well, which is like the equivalent of 2 chapters. It's going well. I'm surprisingly reading it quickly. I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I think it's good, but I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as I did Cinderella is Dead. I'm just waiting to see what the whole like mystery aspect of the book is. I do know that this is a duology, so maybe we won't find out like a ton of stuff in this first book. But I'm enjoying it, and hopefully I can finish it before the weekend is up.
Desiree, what did you decide to read, Desiree? Out of your like pile of books.
Itza. And it describes, it says, Rios de la Luz examined the lives of a small family of water witches living near the U.S.-Mexico border, exploring issues of race, trauma, along with beauty and magic. It's a powerful reclamation of body and identity. So I got to page like 36, but like it's like double spaced. So that's probably why I read that much. But the chapters are like really short. They're like 2 pages.
Is it indie? Is it self-published?
It might be. I know I got it from Amazon, but like I don't see an audiobook for it or anything, so it's probably like self-published.
Because usually like weird formats, or I don't know if it's considered weird format, but like double spaced. You can usually see it that it's like
that it was like formatted a different way. But I like that the chapters are really short. And even though like it's continuing the story, it still feels like each chapter is kind of like an isolated story, you know? But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm on page 36 and it only has 143 pages. So hopefully I'll finish it tonight.
You will probably finish it by the end of the sprints. I am trying to stay awake because I'm starting to fall asleep. And I only read the prologue, which is like I read like 15 pages or something. It just jumped into one of the characters went into some form of portal, and then it just jumped into present day. So I don't know what's going on yet. Okay. I only saw something.
So it's like
end up jumping into a portal while they fell into like a lake or something, and it ended up traveling to a portal. So that whole prologue was just her getting into a character getting in through a portal, and then now it's jumping to the present day. So I don't know what's going on yet. So I'll see how this goes.
Okay. All right. So for those of you joining us, welcome to our monthly Pages and Pals live show. This live show is actually falling on the weekend of Readorama. It is Readorama weekend. It started yesterday. It ends tomorrow. So if you want to just grab your book, we're going to start our last reading sprint. Are you guys okay with doing another 25-minute reading sprint, or do you want to keep it at do you want to do a 20? 25 is okay. All right, so we usually do, for those of you joining us, we usually do 2 reading sprints. We just finished our first reading sprint. We're going to start on our last reading sprint for this live show, and we're going to do another 25-minute one. So just grab whatever book you're reading and join us for some reading. I want to have background music. If it's too loud, just let me know in the chat and I'll turn it down, and I'll share my screen so you guys can see the countdown. Okay. All right, that was our last reading sprint. I'm questioning whether this book is young adult. I was browsing through Goodreads. It's tagged as a young adult fantasy, whatever. It's just, I feel like the descriptions are, I wouldn't necessarily say it's adult. This is certainly not a Sarah J. Maas book, but it's a little bit more descriptive than what young adult books should be, in my opinion. I could be wrong. When you guys read this book, Chloe and Desiree, let me know what you think. I'm questioning because her descriptions are too descriptive sometimes, and I don't know how I feel. But anyways, for those of you wondering, Damsel, it's kind of like an anti-fairy tale, sort of, not really. It's about this girl who gets rescued by this prince. It's typical fairy tale. She's being guarded by this dragon and he has to rescue her, but she doesn't remember anything. And then when she goes back to live in the kingdom with the prince, things are not really what they should be. It's not like a what is it called, happily ever after. So the story starts with the prince rescuing her, and I just got to the second part because the book is broken down into 8 parts, and so I just got to the second part where they're now heading back to the kingdom. And by the way, the chapters are really short, so you'll Chloe and Desiree, it'll be really easy to read. So the rest of the book is their time in the kingdom, and we'll see what happens. But it's interesting so far. Like I said, I just feel like some of the descriptions that the author uses are really weird, as I gave an example earlier. But we'll see what happens. Chloe, how's your book?
So I was able to read 3 chapters, which was probably like 25 to 30 pages. This book is kind of giving witchy vibes, which I'm happy about. I think it's going in a good direction. And more of this sort of mystery of the main character's family is kind of being revealed. But I am curious to see how far it will go before we reach the end of the book, since there is a second book coming out. But I'm intrigued, and I think probably the second book is going to have more of more climactic moments.
So I got to page 70, and there was a part 2, and so it kind of switched things up a little bit, because part 1 was about this girl, her sister, and kind of their relationship with their grandmother, but now it's focusing on their relationship with their mother, and stuff has taken a sad turn in regards to some of the things that one of the girls is experiencing at home. But I will probably finish this today. So
My book is still at the very beginning. I only read another 15 pages. But it seems like the one that dropped into a time portal or something like that is a fairy. And in modern day, there's like a teenager. His father works in like some kind of science field where he's telling him that there's possible monsters in the forest and tell him to avoid the forest near his school. But of course, if you tell them don't do it, they probably will do it. So I'm pretty sure later on he's gonna end up stepping into the forest and gonna be more of a story there. But right now is slowly getting somewhere. So it's okay so far.
Okay, good. It looks like we're all reading pretty interesting books. Fangs by Sarah Ander. I haven't heard of that. Cute but spooky fun. Spooky fun. So basically perfect for October. I usually don't read books based on the season. I know a lot of people like to read spooky books during October. They'll read like Christmassy books during December. I've never been that person. I just read whatever I feel like reading. But anyways, thank you everybody for joining us for our October Pages and Pals live show. Don't forget that Read-A-Rama is still happening until tomorrow. We will be having another live show just for Read-A-Rama on Chloe's channel. It will be kind of like a finale. Not really sure what we're doing on this live show. I'm assuming it'll be like reading sprints again, but it'll be a finale. It'll be tomorrow on Chloe's channel. So make sure you check it out if you want to read with us a little bit more. Our next Pages and Pals live show, if you want to mark on your calendar, will be November 20th. That is the weekend before Thanksgiving. The weekend before is Y'all Fest, and me, Chloe, and Desirai will be going to Y'all Fest, so we can't do that weekend, so it have to be the weekend of the 20th. So make sure you mark your calendars. Again, it's always the same time. It's 5 p.m. on my channel, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you mark on your calendar. And again, it will just be an hour-long live show. We hope you can make it. It is always fun. I really love these live shows. As someone who's going through a huge reading slump, and has been for a long time, I really, really enjoy these live shows because it makes me fall in love with reading all over again. So I hope you guys join us. And thank you again for joining us on this live show. And I hope, again, if you want to read some more with us, live show tomorrow. Chloe, what time is it at? 6 o'clock, 5 p.m.?
5 p.m. Eastern.
5 p.m. Eastern time on Chloe's channel if you want to join us for the Read-A-Rama finale live show. Again, just reading sprints tomorrow. Thank you all, and we'll see you on November 20th. Bye.